first thing that we're going to do is check the positioning. And just to kind of give you a general overview of what we're looking for here, we want the distance between the outside edge of the tab and the side of the boat to be approximately 4 inches. Doesn't have to be exactly 4 inches, but we want it to be tucked in far enough that water coming off the side of the boat is not going to interfere with the tab at all when the boat's running through the water. So generally that ends up being about 4 inches. There's some flexibility there depending on what you have to accommodate in terms of swim platform brackets and where the upper actuator is going to mount, or some boats might have LED underwater lights in this area. There's just a number of things there that you have to accommodate. So that's an approximate guide, and that's included on the template. We've got the template assembled and installed here. One other note about the template is that the standard position for the hinge is based on the regular position of the hinge on the tab. We actually give you a number of different mounting positions so that you can actually shift the hinge on the transom of the boat while the tab stays stationary, and that will depend on where there's contour in the hull of the boat. So if the boat is flatter further to this side, then you would want to shift the hinge all the way over. If it's flatter further to this side, then you would want to shift the hinge the other direction. The important thing is you don't want to go more than one hole spacing out from where the standard setup is. So on this boat, we're going to shift everything over one hole to the left to get it to fit, the best on this specific boat. If you have any questions about that, contact our tech support team. They can help walk you through it. So that covers the position of the tab on the transom itself. The second thing that we want to be aware of, and we have adjustability for this within the tab itself in general, but we want to just double check it, is that when the tab is in the stowed position, when it's up and out of the water, we want to achieve an angle of the main surface of the tab relative to the running surface of the hull of the boat that's at least 18 degrees. Anything more than 18 degrees is totally fine, but it needs to be at least 18 degrees to ensure that the tab is totally out of the water when the boat is running at speed for wakeboarding or slalom skiing or just cruising across the lake. So that's something that's important to check, and that's where the new swim platform brackets come into play to give us that extra clearance. So we're going to just kind of mock this up generally. We've got an angle app here on this smartphone, and so we can check relative to the running surface of the hull of the boat and zero the app there, and then throw it on here, and we're getting about 22 degrees of angle, so that's perfectly fine. One thing I just want to point out is that we do have a lot of adjustability in the tab itself, so both where the actuator attaches to the tab via this lower mounting bracket, we've got 5 different positions here, and then there's also 2 different positions for the bracket itself on the tab, position A and position B. So if you need to get more angle, again, just depends on the geometry of the transom of the boat, you can actually reposition this mounting bracket into position B, which shifts everything back on the tab away from the hinge, and that's going to give you even more angle. Some boats that's necessary, just depends on the geometry of the transom to be able to get that 18 degrees of minimum angle when the tab is stowed. So we've checked all that, we're comfortable with the clearance. Now we'll go ahead and get going on the install and get the tabs mounted up.